Some stories vanish without a trace. Others leave behind a whisper. In 1991, the town of Ashwood awoke to the strangest murder it had ever seen. A local priest was found dead inside his locked rectory, his body untouched, a look of terror frozen on his face. No sign of forced entry, no blood, only a note, handwritten and unsigned. "Forgive me, Father, for I have seen the end." For 28 years, the mystery lay buried under church silence, until a dying man's final confession brought the nightmare back to life. Father Elijah Marin was a respected, if reclusive, figure in Ashwood, a man of routine, devotion, and quiet faith. On the morning of September 3, 1991, the parish secretary found the rectory door locked from the inside. When police forced it open, they discovered Marin sitting upright in his armchair, eyes wide open, rosary clenched so tightly it had broken in his hands. There were no wounds, no poison, no sign of distress on the property. Just a single candle, burned down to wax, and that cryptic note. It became the town's first and only unsolved clergy death. Ashwood's oldest church held secrets. Locals whispered of strange chants after midnight and shadows seen moving behind the stained glass. Some believed Father Marin was hiding something. Others thought the truth lay deeper, in the foundation of the church itself. The coroner called it death by fear, an unscientific verdict for a very real corpse. Files were archived, the building was repainted. But the candle burns in memory, and the walls still echo with something unsaid. Investigators found that the candle on Marin's desk was no ordinary candle. It was ceremonial, used only during confessions, often in the presence of grave sin. What sin had been confessed that night, and why had Marin never recorded it? The confession book was missing. The lock to his drawer forced open. The town began to spin tales, that a killer had confessed a murder to Marin, and that Marin, bound by his vow, had chosen silence and paid the price. An altar boy remembered a man who came every Friday at 4 p.m., always sat in the back pew, never prayed, never crossed himself, just watched, sometimes whispered into the air. He stopped coming the week after Marin died. No name, no car seen, no record. Sketches were made, but no matches were found. Some believed the man was imaginary. Others said he still comes. Only now he doesn't sit. He listens. The church was closed in 2002 and partially burned in 2005. Arson was suspected, but never proven. What remained was sold at auction: pews, icons, the confession booth itself. The booth ended up in a warehouse in Pennsylvania, gathering dust, until 2019, when a janitor cleaning the facility heard voices from within. Thinking someone had broken in, he opened the door and found a yellowed journal tucked beneath the floorboards. The last entry: "He told me the truth. I will not survive it." The journal was traced back to Father Marin, confirmed by handwriting experts. In it, he described weeks of visits from a man with hollow eyes who confessed to crimes so heinous they pulled the light from the room. The entries grew more erratic. Mentions of a place called Millstone Woods, a burial, a name, Henry Vale. Investigators cross-checked the name. No residence by that name in 1991. But a background search revealed something darker. Henry Vale was an alias used by a man on the FBI's most wanted list, missing since 1986. In 2019, a man named Daniel Acker checked into hospice care in Maryland. Stage 4 lung cancer, no family, no visitors. On his third night, he called for a priest. What followed was not a confession, but a warning. A nurse heard the words, "Ashwood," "fire," and he never screamed, just stared. Acker passed away the next day, but in his room was found a ring. A bishop's ring, burned around the edges, the engraving inside, E.M. Armed with Marin's journal and the dying man's words, authorities searched Millstone Woods, a forgotten stretch of forest just outside Ashwood. Beneath a collapsed fire pit, they found the unthinkable. 3 skeletons wrapped in robes. Clergy. And beneath them, a 4th skeleton, hands bound, skull crushed. Next to the body lay a confession book. The last entry was Marin's, and above it, scrawled in blood-red ink, "I tried to forgive him, but he didn't want forgiveness." Forensics confirmed the skeletons as priests who had all served in Ashwood between 1970 and 1985, men who had all vanished without explanation. The 4th was never officially identified, but DNA closely matched Daniel Acker. Records revealed he was once a seminarian, expelled, quiet, brilliant, and obsessed with punishment. It's believed he lured clergy under the guise of confession, then judged them himself. Marin had figured it out, but too late. The case was quietly closed in 2021. No press releases, no public statement. The church, now a scorched foundation, is overgrown with vines. But every September 3rd, a single white candle appears at the site, lit, steady, and left burning. Locals say it's a vigil for Father Marin. Others believe it's something more. A warning that some confessions don't cleanse the soul. They curse it. And that sometimes the truth waits in the dark, whispering to be found. You've just heard the Ashwood Confession. If this story haunted you like it haunts us, subscribe for more tales where the past refuses to stay buried. Until next time, listen carefully. Not all confessions come from the living.